Hey everyone, my name is Grant. Today we'll be going through a tutorial on how to integrate OpenAI and their API into Unreal and seeing if we can generate AI images within Unreal and use them as real-time textures or real-time HDRIs. So in this lesson or tutorial, you're going to come away with certain things. Main goals are going to be understanding how to create an account with OpenAI, how to get an API key, how to apply that API key with Unreal, and then creating a texture or image, basically putting that onto a plane or any kind of surface in Unreal, and then applying that new image that you created in 3D space. So it's just a cool little tool, and hopefully it'll be something that you guys can use in the future. So, let's just kind of go through the motions. Right now I have Unreal open right now. This lesson is going to be kind of reserved for people with intermediate level skills with using Unreal, and maybe a little bit of coding and a little bit of blueprint scripting, but it's not that bad. This is a really fun way to get something out quick and just to do some R&D testing and create an application even. And we'll go further in like how to push this type of project and iterate on top of it for you guys for future versions for whatever you guys want to use it for. This is just a really rough concept and stepping stool to kind of integrate beginners who are trying to learn AI and also learn Unreal at the same time. And then this is also definitely for the intermediate level individuals who want to push their knowledge, push the AI kind of creation tool in Unreal and use it for real time use cases. So yeah, this is Unreal open right now. We're gonna go over this quite a bit in later on in this lesson, but what I'm going to do is kind of go over a brief overview of what you need to have before we continue on in this tutorial. So what I'm going to do is just kind of minimize Unreal for a second and just kind of introduce myself. My name is Grant, as I said in the beginning of the lesson, but yeah, a little bit of my background. I'm coming from the educational world from NYU, and NYU right now has a virtual production stage that we're kind of using as a forefront to kind of integrate people with uh, game development skills, but also filmmaking skills, and integrating that in our own new program, which is located in Industry City in Brooklyn, New York. I'm a virtual production engineer for their stage. My background kind of comes from LED wall volume kind of build out working with Lux Machina that kind of created all the technical out workflows and for very first like LED volumes for Mandalorian and a bunch of other films. The most recent film I worked on was Megapolis. And we used a lot of camera tracking and a lot of neural ops and uh, a giant LED wall in Georgia. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm kind of coming in from. This is definitely for our students, but also for the community as well. So feel free to contact me on any more questions or concerns you have, or any areas that definitely might need correcting or updating. Um, okay, that's just a little about me. Thanks for joining us in this tutorial. You can Google me on NYU Tish, and my name is Grant Ing, Grant Travising, if you want to use my full name. But yeah, let's go into the first part. Let's say you don't have an open AI account. What you will need to do is navigate to OpenAI. And we're just going to go here, we're just going to go into the login page. So if you haven't created an account, what we're going to do is you're going to create an account, you're going to sign up with OpenAI. Don't worry, it's not going to like track any data or anything. This is just gonna get you into the world of how to use it as a tool. Once you create an account, one of the most important things is now getting we go back here actually, going back into OpenAI and go to the API page. This is a completely different platform. After you make the account, in your account, you can select what kind of payment plan or what kind of, I guess, version you want to use OpenAI in. So I'm right now using a free version. That's my payment plan right now, but I think the next one up is like $20 a month to use like ChatGPT, GPT-4. So if you want to use that type of model, then you can look into paying for that for yourself. But for this one, we're just going to stick with the free plan. On top of that, this would require you to put some money in when you go into the API platform page. It's just $10. Right now, I just put in $10 just to use as a token so you can get an API key. And what that'll do is, let's go see. I'll log into mine actually. Just put my stuff in. Just gonna come here. I don't look at those for billing. So I just have like $8.50. This is just really to use for how many times you're using their 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 model. Um, and right now, like if this number is zero, your API key won't work. So it'll just call this account. And if you're in Unreal, when we start using it, you'll see what I mean in a second. But you need some money in here. So I think it's the least you can put is like $5, I think. But right now I have an auto payment of when it goes past $5, just put the balance back up to 10. So just add another $5 to it. Um, if this doesn't work for you, then there's other ways you can kind of go around using other AI models, but this is just how to use OpenAI for right now. Cool. So if you're cool with spending $10 just to play around with AI, this is one tool that you kind of use to have some fun with it. Um, but cool. So once that's done, you can jump into Unreal because from here you can get your API and you can generate an API key. And if you want to, this is how you can kind of create it. Once you have an account, oh, my thing is in the way. Let me just move that over here. Once that is created, yeah, you click on this button here and you hit create, and then you can select what kind of project you want to put it into or name it whatever you want. And then you can hit create secret key, and then that'll create a long string uh, of a key that we can use in Unreal. Um, and before we go into Unreal, another thing that's added from OpenAI is this cool AI plugin. So this all kind of stemmed from a GitHub project. Let's see. Oh. So what you'll also need to do after that's done is download this GitHub project as a zip file. And you're just going to download that. And we're going to follow along with this documentation and how to apply this. which is great because he has some. It's an older view of blueprints, but it still works with 5.2. We haven't tested it with 5.3 and up, but feel free to try it if you want to. But this is what we're going to kind of use as a blueprint foundation. So we can kind of follow along with this. So we'll download it. Once you downloaded that GitHub project, it's going to be a zip folder. Let me just move myself over here. Make it a little smaller. Um, Once that's downloaded, we're just going to go over here and let's see. For me, I have it over here. But yeah, you want to unzip the file and yeah. Oh, we're gonna unzip it and it should come out as like OpenAI API folder. What you're gonna do is once that's unzipped, you're gonna go to Unreal in your Epic Games launcher. And if you haven't, create a new project. And if you have an existing project that you want to use it in, all you have to do is navigate to where that project is. For me, it's over here. And what you're going to do is you're going to create a plugins folder. If there is no plugins folder already in there, but if you already have a plugins folder in your project file, then throw that OpenAI plugin in your plugins folder, and that's where mine is right now. So I had to make that. You just gotta make sure that the plugins folder is capitalized, which it is. So cool. Once that's there, you can open up your project, and my project is already open, so I'm just gonna open that. What will happen is you want to double check your plugins. So yeah, I'm just double checking. Once you have it in the plugins folder, it'll show up as a plugin that should be enabled already. And this documentation edit should bring you back to that GitHub page. Um, cool. So let's just move this guy right up here. So, um, so yeah, where do we go from here? Um, I'm just gonna go over a brief like example of what we're gonna be creating and what the final product is gonna look like. So, as you can see here, I've been testing some of this AI output. Um, for right now, I'm just making it like really simple prompts, because my plan is not that complex, and so you're gonna get like really bad results because I have a free plan. Um, but let's see. So, what I just did was in this blueprint, we're going to make a blueprint actor class. Uh, this this is like a weird checkered pattern, I know, but like I'm just messing around with flat textures right now. Um, and this will basically just act as a blueprint. This is a blueprint here that kind of goes through just one command, basically. When you hit the play button, it's going to generate an image, and then it's going to apply that image on the material for this whatever surface or object that you want, and then it will save that image in your Unreal Project file. So I just put the prompt here. This is a public variable that we created. There's two public variables that you're going to be creating. One is for the prompt, and one is for a file name. File name is super important for this one. You'll see why. But the prompt is really just dot on a surfboard for this tutorial right now. You can make it whatever you want. But when you hit the play button, it's going to take a while. We're going to look at the output log. So right now, this is going to use the API key that I have on my account. It's going to take a while. It's going to basically just make a call to OpenAI through the internet. And with that, cool. It makes a dog on a oop, that's not really a surfboard, but it's a skateboard. Um, and that's kind of cool. So let's put that here. And then, when it's done downloading that image in Unreal, you're going to get this little message and you're going to hit import. And cool. So like it's done. I put some print strings here that just tells you like what section of the blueprint that that's done in. Um, and we're gonna go back here and I should have it. So cool. So I'm just gonna stop it and then double click. And now it's a cool texture asset in Unreal. Whoa, cool. Um, So yeah, you can use this as you can see here. I've been messing around with HDRIs as an image. These are kind of a cool equi rectangular kind of like viewport, which is it does a pretty good job for a free version. Definitely you can bump it up in another program if you want. You can totally mess with the resolution settings as well. Here I have it at 496 by 2028. And this was a Zen garden that I was messing around with. It, yeah, you can do it. Um, let's see, like we're from, oh, I forgot what HDR, and then we're from doing this. There we go. HDR backdrop. Um, so yeah, what does that mean? HDR backdrop for those of you who are new to that sense. Yeah, basically just a 360 wrapped image that's like inversely wrapped around a sphere like uh I guess object, so you can kind of make it look like you're in a 360 kind of world viewpoint. But you need that wrap around rectangular picture so it can wrap around something easily. That's why you see these warped images here because it's supposed to be kind of a 360 view. But yeah, let's throw in one of these. What? So kind of crazy, but kind of cool, I guess, too. You can change the perspective. You can change the color and stuff too if you want to throw it into the program. But like, I don't know. There's something to play with. This is totally like a low cost tool, especially if you just want to use and spend like $10. Um, some of you might want to spend more and to like really bump it up and play with textures. But this is what we'll be creating. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this. Let's get down to it. Don't mind, this is my test and stuff, so you don't have to create all those files. But I'm going to create a folder here. Spaces, no spaces. Okay, so sorry, my camera is from the side here, and I have another monitor, so I'll be like looking sideways from time to time. Um, but yeah, what we're going to be doing is go here. Um, We're going to right click into the content browser. And we're going to go to the blueprint class over here. And we're just going to select, there we go. Uh, tutorial. um, Whatever you want, but this is just what I'm doing. And we're going to double click in here, and you're going to see nothing, which is cool. Uh, so this, for those of you who are new to Unreal, this is where you can kind of create all the blueprint functions, and this is where you can kind of create your own scripts, and execute certain things that you want to do. Um, uh, so like just It's down here. Let's look at some. Just go contact here. So, for here, what we're gonna do is kind of just add an arbitrary object. Right now, you saw in the previous example that it was just a flat plane. You can choose a sphere, you can choose a cone, you can choose whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a flat plane. But I'm just for ease of use and just ease of this tutorial, I'm just going to use flat plane. Um, I'm just going to name it object. So you can name it. You can have whatever static object you want or static mesh that you want. Uh, and compile because that's just my OCD. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to blitz that. On the event begin play. So that's an important starting node. So from here, uh, OpenAI, we're gonna kind of just draw from here, but to reference, let's see, where's that? Here. We're gonna reference this setup on how basically we're gonna just kind of set the OpenAI API key. Um, so that's mine. I'm gonna probably censor that, but uh, you're gonna put your key in here. Um, so if you have that, once you get that and that account ready, that's on you. You got to go into the API platform login, and then create your secret key. Once you have that secret key, copy and text that onto a text file or somewhere where you can copy and paste it. So you can copy and paste it in here because it's going to be a long string. But what we're going to do is we're going to go here. Um, we're going to go to this open OpenAI set OpenAI API key. And then you're going to put your API key there. Since I have mine already, I'm just going to copy and paste mine just for ease of use. This is all secret. And then from here, we're going to go and kind of create the prompt. Yes. Like what type of prompt you want to use. So there's the chat GPT one, right? There's the Dolly, there's a Whisper V2, which we're not going to be using, but we're going to be focusing on the Dolly, kind of prompts. So we're going to go off of here, and kind of go into the next one, which is been called, use that model. So here, this is the node that's super important. That's going to reference your API key, and you can select what type of image size you want. I kind of wanted to use almost large, just crisper image, but you can use whatever you want. Um, we're going to do some variables here. So this is the prompt. Uh, string area where you could input whatever you want to say, right? So this is where the whole I want a dog on a surfboard would go in this case, if you were to leave it like this, what you would do is what you would see is this you would have to come into the blueprint and come into the prompt and type it here every single time you wanted to create a new picture. So to avoid doing that, we're gonna just pull off of off of the node here, and we're going to hit promote to variable. and that's going to show up as a string, and it's going to pop up already. And what this is going to be doing is basically just creating this prompt field as a variable. And right now you'll see that this I is closed. I'm just going to compile. And what that means is if I were to throw this, since this is a blueprint actor, you kind of have to use it in the game. So if I were to throw it in here, so you see a white plane, um, there's no area where I could type in that prompt. Or how do I type in that prompt after putting it into this world, right? Um, if you click on this one, this open the one that I made, um, you want to see this type of setup. You can put this type of setup also on a widget if you want. Um, totally use whatever variation you want to use. I just thought that this was the quickest way to kind of get us going. So feel free to look into widgets and building out UI within Unreal because that's a huge field in itself as well. But for this one, we're just going to try to see if we can get it like this, where it's just right here, and then all I have to do is play. So let's try that. So we're going to go back here, and we're just going to hit this open I, and what that'll do is it'll make it a public variable. So since it's a public variable, what happens is when you save that, that's over it. Always save. Always remember to save because saving is super crucial. Um, but from here, oh, let me get tutorial. So now we have a text prompt here. So now we can just type in whatever we want, and then we can hit OK. So cool. All right, we're gonna go back into our blueprint here. This is kind of like the meat and potatoes of this whole process, which is kind of cool. But let's see, we're going to hit finish, uh, and kind of branch off from here. So we can refer back, kind of see that now there's a branch node that's going to go into the string, and we're going to go and use a for each loop, and then that's going to go into the download image node, and then that will kind of generate the textures in that way. Oh, well, I don't even know what that generate textures would go to, but I guess he's going to add that. I guess that's going to tell that to a stack image. But we're going to finish that. So this is just getting us started. Um, so on here, as you saw, we're just going to click off here, and it will show us the list of like functions that we can use, right? So I'll spin a image. Cool. And this is a conditional statement. So this is like only when this is done, this is going to execute, and only when we have a successful image URL that's going to be generated uh, as a success. This is making this whole thing a conditional statement. It's going to go true, and then that's going to execute another one. If it's false, we want to know if it didn't execute, right? If this API doesn't work. Um, so I'm going to branch off of here and get print string, and then just say, actually, the error message can be piped in here. So it'll say whatever error message that OpenAI will say. So it'll generate whatever warning or whatever error from OpenAI's side. So you can have this, it'll help you understand like, what you need to fix. Um, so cool. And then off the true, we're going to go to, I keep going back because I had short-term memory loss. Oh, that's right, for each loop. So let's make a for each loop. Cool. And then we're going to hit this generated image URL. And we're going to click into the, oh my God. And that's great. So, that's right. And then we go into the next one, which is going to be downloading the image. And the downloading image is super important for our next part. And here, it's just, yeah, download image. That's the name of the node. So I'm just going to look into what this isn't telling us. And we're going to hit the array element, and that's going to go into the URL. So this loop, it's going to loop through basically all the image URLs that it's going to spit out successfully, right? So a number of images, depending on how much you would put in, it's going to put in one. It's going to go through that array and then spit out that one image going into that loop. And then once that loop sees it, it's going to go into the download image node and hopefully on success, it will create that image and apply it to a texture, right? Or I mean, apply it to a material. That's what we want to do. Um, so let me hit save here, and then it's kind of it right. Okay. So from here, I kind of created my own little workaround where what we're going to do is apply that to a dynamic material, meaning within the game, kind of like in runtime, you want to apply different texture, a different look on that material, and it's called like a dynamic uh, instance of a material. So on success, uh, we are going to choose a texture here. So the texture, um, we're going to come up with this now. Oh, no, not yet. I'm sure we're going to promote this texture as a variable. Yes. Choose that in success. And on the fail, you always want to have a check of like, did it go through or did it not go through? So I'm keep it straightforward. Did not download. Okay. Cut here. So from here, we're going to do the set texture variable, right? We're going to come here and we're going to add the create dynamic material node. Um, so let's come over here. Oops. Yep, that's the wrong. So yeah, so we want the object. Yes, object. Oh, that's nice. It already. Yeah. Oh, cool. It already made that as a variable, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's calling this component or static mesh um, in this variable, which is referring to that. Now the source material, that's another important one for this one as well. So if you look back here, this material, right? This plays an important part um, in this last section. To see the image on an object, on a 3D object, you need to kind of tell it to say, hey, on this material, referencing this material, change it to the AI image that you made. So I'm just going to also, so this is our blueprint that we're working on. So I'm just going to remove that. I'm just gonna go over here. Which let's say, you know what? We're going to make a new material. So I'm just going to right click again into the content browser. We're going to select material and then let's save all. And here, this is just creating the material that's going to go around an object, or any 3D object, really. So what we're going to do is hit here and do texture sample. And here, it's like there's nothing on, right? Um, to put something on there, what I've been using was this checkered nose texture that comes in with the standard if you do the starter content in Unreal, starter content assets, which is all of this stuff. Basically, you can import some of this, add feature or content pack, and you can go and choose whatever you want here. And I just use the starter content. So you can use whatever you want, but that's how I got that material. It just needs a reference. You can use whatever texture you want. Let's see. I'm gonna make this two-sided, and we're just gonna go into the base code. We're just gonna hit save, and yeah, that's kind of all you need to do there. Um, and in the tutorial here, we're just going to reference and put the tutorial that we made. And now that we're kind of getting somewhere now, which is great. Um, and from there, we're just going to, so now that it's creating, you're telling Unreal that this is going to create a material instance on the object. Now, we need to set it and like just stick it on there. Because now it's just like, now it doesn't know what to do with it. Um, so it's creating that material instance, uh, referencing the one that we just made. And then we're going to hit the next node, which is set texture. Yeah. Mm, Set texture. No, set texture. Oops, no. Parameter. That's right. Um, it's, oh, oh. Um, oh, wait, sorry. The return value is the target. We're going to hit compile. We hit save. We hit save. And then we go here. And actually, we haven't applied the material to this one, actually. So, tutorial. Yes. Cool. And hit save. So this is our little guy. Uh, and we hit play. Oh, API error. Prompt is empty. Oh no. Let's see what that happened. So request error. Oh, so we got an error. Right here, I just have the output log. You can always grab it here from the output log. And figure out like why isn't it working? Um, it's not working because if you remember, there's no prompt in here. So what correspond to delete this guy? Um, so let's put in a prompt. Um, I wish I could ask any of you what you would want, but for this one, I can't submit it because, um, hmm, what should we put in it? How about cat? Kent on. So, keep an eye out on log. It kind of takes a while depending on your internet. Oh, so because we put in a prompt, uh, should see something. Don't. There's like no. Wonder what. Um, so it looks like it's going through. I don't see it on this side. So we made the tutorial there here. Oh, you know what? This, okay, so it's this one. Um, yeah, you want to input the texture. So when you download the image, you want to apply that texture to the set texture parameter as well. So that's going to go into the variable that we made, into the create dynamic, and then continuing that flow into the set texture. Uh, so I can say, I'm just going to keep this prompt the same here. Cool. So we get an URL. That's the URL that you're going to be spitting out, the generate URL node. Um, oh, parameter name. Yes, that's important as well. Oh man, I forgot. Okay. So, parameter name on the texture. No, you're gonna go back into the material. We're gonna go into texture here. Um, that is. Oh, you know what? Jeez, I don't know. What we're gonna do is we're going to right, click on the texture sample, and right here, you're just going to right click and we're going to hit convert to parameter. We're going to name it texture. Yeah. And after you've done that, you're going to come over here and go to this sort priority. Go down here, remake that 0. Enter. This is going to apply like a URL image onto the material that's wrapped around static mesh. Um, okay, so now we were doing cat on a surfboard. Let's see if we can get a cat on a surfboard. So it's going on to the port 2049. All right, we got the URL. Oh, I didn't put texture. Goodness gracious. Okay. Okay, now cat on a surfboard. So many cats now. We're gonna play. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna generate. Oh, okay, cool. There we go. Holy moly. All right. Well, that's our cat on a surfboard. And then, all right. So what happened there? A lot of things happened there. I was a little scatterbrained for a second, but thanks for staying with me. What's important is you got to know to bring this texture after this download image node, you got to bring it to the set texture parameter value. Make sure that's connected, and then make sure that this parameter name is also referencing the source material uh, parameter, meaning the material that you made. Um, this node, this texture sample node, you just converted it to a parameter, parameter 2D node, and that is, and we named it texture. So whatever you want to name this new parameter that you make, name it whatever you want, and set the sort priority to 0. What that sort priority is so it just controls the what's displayed basically. So 0 is the first image in the array. So instead of 32, it's 0. Um, so once that's a name, then you're going to go back into the blueprint, and then you're just going to make sure that name that from this parameter name is set here. So cool. So now you should have a working prototype of just getting an image into Unreal and seeing how that works on runtime. So now that's because it's runtime, um, it's a bit not useful for real time, I guess. So if you want to go more into depth on like um, beyond that blueprint, what we can do is add a few things. What I made here. So for ease of use, it's going to do this. This is from a previous blueprint that I made, but we're going to go through it step by step. So after you have the set texture parameter value, um, what you're going to do is what I did was just a check. Every time we, I guess, get into a certain stage of the blueprint, let's practice getting a string or getting some kind of message out to us so we know that it went through smoothly. So after you get the texture on the or after you get the image onto the texture onto the material, you can input it here for the string. You can say done downloading, and then from here we can say hit create render target. This is a node that creates a very special asset in Unreal, where you can create render targets in Unreal. That's another type of texture. Um, if you right click, I just right clicked in the content browser and you hit texture and you go into render target here, that can be used as a source to like get to make a 2D texture based off of the world around you, the world and the environment that you're working in. So whatever world you're in, it kind of references that in your 3D environment. And we're applying that node, saying that like in that game, or when the game is running, we're gonna create that image, make the resolution 1020. I just did 1024 by 1024 just to have a base thing. Um, and the format I'm using is this color space. Was it looking at a example? Um, they're all coming in, I guess at what version in. Um, yeah, so that's the I guess image format that they're going to be coming in. The what RTF stands for, but the RGBA16F seems to work with the color space that you want. Of course, if you want to play the render texture, so the texture from the download image is going all this, and we'll get through that in a little bit, but this down for just programs and certain things. So that's the color space that I'm using. You can also use sRGB. You can use a bunch of other color spaces, but the one that I'm using right now is this one. I'm sure with more higher resolution images, you can choose a different one. Um, but from the create render target, we're going to come off and just go and create a begin draw to canvas render target. And we're going to kind of pull off here and connect. And from the return value, we're also going to connect to the texture render target. And then from here, um, uh, so this one's going to be a little hairy with all these nodes we're going to go through. But after the begin draw canvas to render target, we're going to go hit draw texture. And we're going to create that node. And from there, we're going to hit connect the canvas to the target and the size to the screen size and the context to this other node, which is end draw canvas render to render target. This is basically just drawing out the texture, drawing out the image that you want to save, um, kind of creating that resolution, that size. And from here, it gets a little tangled, but the render texture is referencing the download image node. So that this texture uh, return value is going all the way into this one, and the context connection is going all the way here to the end drop canvas, and then going out here to the export. The export node is very important. That texture render target is connected to the return value from the create render target as well. So we're going to come out of the return value. You go into two areas. We're going to go into the texture render target from the export render target node, and the return value is also going into another node here, which is called the clear render target 2D. And it's going to go into the texture render target, and then we're going to output a string. Um, let's start with um, the screen size is, don't worry about that. We're already kind of setting the size here. Um, so if you want to, guess for mobile development or other device development, you can kind of play with that. But for this one, yeah, just have the computer. You can set the resolution size here. Um, and this error is just coming in off of a file name that I'm creating a variable and making it public. So there is no public variable name, right? So I'm just going to hit. Now I'm just going to delete. All right. Um, Meaning, if you remember from the prompt, we're just going to see that. When we come back here, we're going to see the file name, and then we're going to see the prompt. So you can name it whatever you want, and you can have a prompt with whatever you want. I'm just going to hit save. So from the export render target, this is an important one. This is where you want to set the file path to where you want to save it. So for me, I have it set on my computer in the generated folder section of the project. If I come here, I created a folder called generated textures. The tutorial folder is where I made it for this, for us. So if I wanted to point us to save the images in this folder, or any folder really you want on your computer or in an Unreal project, come here. I mainly just actually save it in an Unreal project. And I'm going to look for it in our project file. What you want to do is, yeah, you want to navigate to wherever you save an Unreal project, and then we're going to come here. We're going to go to content. That's where everything is kind of located. And we're going to go to OpenAI test. And this is our tutorial folder that we made. I'm going to double click, and I'm going to get in there, and those are our two things that we made. And I'm going to copy and paste this folder path by just selecting the file explored here in the field. There you go. To add it to the email. I'm going to double click, paste the new file path, and cool. And so I want it to be saved in this file folder. Um, and so I just put a string. After we have a string, it's going to say exported, and then we're going to clear it. And then we're going to put the string saying we're done with the render target. Ooh, and that's going to basically just create a texture file. And so, save that. So we're going to do a test. File name. We're going to name it cat. Um, so this is in the editor. I want to see if it saves here. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to make sure my mouse is still outside of the play window, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm really watching this output log and make sure we don't have any errors or anything. Cool, cat on a surfboard. It looks really janky because it's the free version. And then we see our put strings here. We see done downloading, it's exported and done with the render target. So it should have saved if everything went through, but it didn't. What the hell? Why didn't it save? A nice little thing that you should remember is that this file name, so this export render target, it can only export as HDR or PNG onto the disk. So how does it know to choose between an HDR or a PNG? Well, if you can totally guess, it took me a while to figure that out, but um, this file name needs to be changed with an extension file extension. So to set it to an HDR or PNG, you're going to have to set it here. Meaning it has to end with either PNG or HDR. Friend of mine, colleague, told me that, yeah, it's probably important to do, and I totally missed it. So I'm glad he got that, and now I can tell you guys, because now it works. So hopefully this time it will work. Um, so I'm making the PNG. Let's see if it works. Hit play again one more time. Cool. And then output of this, which is great. We get a cat on the surfboard. Oh, now we get a new thing. It says a change to a source content file has been detected. Would you like to import it? That's a great sign. So it's saying, Unreal saying, let's import this PNG image into your project. I say, yeah, I'm going to import that. Um, great. And then imported it. Um, made it into a new asset automatically. And cool. We see our image that we made. Um, and now I hit stop. And now I can go into my cat. And now it's at the resolution that we want at 1024 by 1024. And some color space that we want. So there we go. Well, you can go really far into it. But that's cool. And now you can totally use this tool to generate this and put it on whatever you want. Whoa, I just threw it onto the floor and now we have a freaking all these cats on surfboards. So yeah, you can put it as like tile or you can make texture, you can make seamless textures and play around with it if you want. There's so many tools where you can add this texture and put a bump map on it. And so you can get that cool like uh 3D effect where you can see a bump map on. Uh, there's a lot of things you can do with this. And if you don't want a PNG, let's see what happens when we do an HDR. I'm gonna even name it Cat HDR. So I just had the file extension dot HDR. I'm gonna hit play one more time with the same prompt as cat on the surfboard. Um, now it's saying, do you want to import this HDR? And I'm going to say yes, import. And I want that to be a cube map. So it's automatically going to say like, hey, do you want this image as a cube map? And that's what's important to use in Unreal to use as an HDRI backdrop. So yeah, let's say yes. So whoa, it's already done. It's super stressed out, but that's kind of cool. Oh, we should probably change the resolution setting on it. Um, and we should probably have made it as an ever rectangular prompt, and not just the cat on a surfboard. That's probably why it's so stretched out. Um, oh, that's not. But now you have a cube map, and you have an image to use on texture. So if we really wanted to play around with stuff, yeah, let's use that HDR backdrop. So instead of this, we can draw on our cat. Whoa! All right, super cat. Whoa, that's too much of a big cat. Um, let's move this projection. Wow, that's huge. That's too big, but you guys get the gist. Playing around with AI and applying it in your world the way you want. Um, and now you have this cool new tool to use, and you can definitely expand this to go further into using AI. And if you want to upgrade your plan, go for it. It's free for all I'm using, and it comes out pretty great. I'm just joking. No, it's not. But you can make it better than this. And yeah, feel free to do whatever you want with this tool. I hope you guys had fun. This is a cool, fun tool to use. So Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and post however many things you want to make this tool to be used as. Feel free to use widgets. Make this run in editor because this is running in game. So if you can make it run in editor, that'd be pretty cool. And that's the next step that I'm going to try to do as well. So, yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one. Take it easy. Bye bye.